It's also unlikely Israel will agree to withdraw its troops from southern Lebanon without demanding Hezbollah disarm first.
Lauren Berstecker reporting now. For more details on this, we are joined now by Filippo Diongini, Senior Lecturer in International Relations at Bristol University in the UK. Thanks so much for being with us. I know this is a part of the world that you watch particularly closely. So first of all, I would like to hear what your reaction is to this. It's an incredible breakthrough.
Yes, it is an important information if it is confirmed, as it seems like it is. It means that Hezbollah may decide to entertain a diplomatic process, a dialogue with the Lebanese institutions to possibly progressively disarm, and therefore perhaps decide to then integrate within the Lebanese institution in a political manner and not in a military manner anymore.
What would it look like disarming Hezbollah? How big is their armament?
Well, this is the key question. Hezbollah has been the most powerful non-state actor, armed non-state actor in the region for a long time. And after the latest war between Hezbollah and Israel started on October 8th, 2023, its military capacity has been significantly reduced by Israel. Estimates are usually around between 50 to up to 70% of its military capacity being destroyed by Israel. What we know furthermore is that Hezbollah is still highly exposed to Israeli intelligence. Israeli attacks are continuing against Hezbollah's targets, and they are continuing to do so in an effective manner, meaning that Hezbollah's military capacity is significantly diminished by Israel technological and military capacity. And therefore, that is possibly also what has prompted at this point the change of mind of Hezbollah and considering the possibility of disarming. There are two ways, there are two possibilities. One is that they're genuinely interested in disarming and therefore finally undertaking a political process within Lebanon, or they may be maneuvering and trying to hope for a change in the regional situation that may eventually lead to their advantage again.
Now, these are reports by the Reuters news agency, so we are not entirely sure whether this is fully happening. But if they were to fully disarmed within 6 months, say, will this see Hezbollah itself disappear as an organization, or will they continue to function in other aspects of Lebanese society?
So Hezbollah is an organization that is composed and made of different parts. It has a military branch, a political branch, it has social activities, economic activities, a very complex entity in itself, meaning that even if its military branch is dismissed and disarmed, it will continue to exist in one way or another as a political entity and as a social entity. Let us not forget that the latest elections in Lebanon have confirmed that Hezbollah still has a significant popular support. Surveys as well have shown that the Shia, especially the Shia community of Lebanon, is still relatively supportive of its political elite, the traditional political elite of Lebanon that represents the Shia community, so Amal and Hezbollah, meaning that they will still have political support for their existence. It will be a different process if it actually materializes, and one that possibly will be more peaceful and not determined by the use of weapons, but by political dialogue between political actors within Lebanon and the rest of the region.
Now imagine that Israel does fully withdraw and Hezbollah does disarm. Does that mean that there can be hopes for peace on that particular border, or are there other groups which could step into the void?
I think we have to be careful here. There can be stability and a reciprocal degree of security between Lebanon and Israel, but the possibility of a peace agreement and a normalization of relations between Lebanon and Israel, I think, is still far away. This has been said clearly not only by Hezbollah's members, but also by political groups in Lebanon that are very much against Hezbollah and critical of Hezbollah. the normalization of relations between Israel and Lebanon is off the table from what the Lebanese political elite is saying and its institutions have declared. So what we can hope for at least is a degree of stability and a degree of prosperity on both sides without necessarily coming to the conclusion of a peace agreement between Lebanon and Israel. And then we will see whether there are other actors involved that would like to challenge the security of Israel. I think at this point it's unlikely. Syria has far greater issues and problems to deal with. The Palestinian groups that operate in Lebanon do not have sufficient capacity to represent a significant threat to Israel at this point, and were anyway operating under the protection of Hezbollah, which is not there any longer as much as it was before, meaning again that yes, this is possibly a prospective element of peace and stability for both Lebanon and Israel if it materializes. But again, we are only looking at preliminary reports from unnamed sources, so let us be careful and see what happens in the next few days and weeks and see whether these developments actually materialize.
Hezbollah is the most powerful of the armed groups that are backed by Iran. Is it reportedly considering disarming a sign of Tehran's weakening?
I think Iran is facing a regional situation that is highly challenging for itself, and meaning that this situation has also consequences for Hezbollah itself, of course. The reason for this is based on several layers, several considerations. One is how the war against Israel went in the past few months, which has anyway determined the fact that Israel has a capacity to defend itself meaningfully against Iran and potentially even attack Iran significantly. The second aspect is that Iran has lost in a few weeks one of its major allies, that is Bashar al-Assad in Syria. And the third aspect is that Iran itself is facing its own internal challenges economically due to the sanctions. And it is of today the news that apparently there will be talks between Iran and the Trump administration regarding the nuclear developments in Iran, and we shall see, meaning that these are talks that indicates the fact that Iran, yes, is open to dialogue and to sort of revise its stance towards the region, depending on how these talks will proceed, though.
Could we infer that there is the chance that the other Iran-aligned groups could follow suit, the Houthis in Yemen and indeed Hamas in the Gaza Strip?
We will have to see. These are different theaters, different situations. The Houthis are far away. They are in Yemen, as you were saying. They have promised that they will continue their attacks until when the situation in Palestine will be settled. Hamas is on a different trajectory. They are acting within Gaza, and they're doing so in relative autonomy. They don't have direct access from the support that they may or may not receive from Iran at this point. And there, the developments are mostly related to the negotiations that are between Hamas and Israel, as brokered by the United States and Qatar and the others. So these are all conflicts that are progressively becoming independent from each other. And yes, definitely a weaker role of Iran will also have effects on those conflicts and therefore weaken further actors such as Hamas and the Houthis.
Filippo Diongini from Bristol University, thank you so much for that insight. It's time now for a short break. Stay tuned to us here.